how has asylum rules and how has asylum changed in 2025?
Sure, that's a great question, and it's a good place to start. So, asylum law, especially in the United States, has a pretty long history. Before the 1950s, there really wasn't any kind of asylum law per se. It was really on a case by case basis. A lot of it was politically motivated. It really started with people fleeing from what the US considered to be communist countries. It really became something a little bit more concrete in the 80s with the creation of the Refugee Act. And it's gone through a couple of different iterations since then, getting stricter and also getting things that are a little bit more difficult to prove whether you qualify for asylum or not. But essentially, asylum means that you are what the US considers a refugee, which means that you are being persecuted or will be persecuted in the country you are from, the country you have citizenship in, due to your race, your religion, your nationality, your political opinion, or if you're a member of a specific group that's being targeted. For example, certain families or certain people who may be part of the LGBTQ groups, those types of particular social groups. And what's been happening lately since starting in the 1980s is things have slowly become stricter. So in 1998, we had the Convention Against Torture, which allowed for, if you didn't quite qualify for asylum, there might be other forms of relief. 2005, there was the Real ID Act, really clarifying what kind of evidence and what was needed to prove if you were an asylee or asking for asylum, among other immigration changes that were made. And then post really 2018 is when it really started to kind of tighten a little bit more. And what you had were these different transit bans and what you're seeing today. So it's all kind of started to escalate a little bit incrementally to make it sometimes a little bit more difficult for people to be able to prove that they would qualify for asylum. And that's where we are today.